to get hit. He just stepped up to him. We know we can't hit him back. We hit him back, we're going to be called terrorists, and they're going to make up so many charges at us. But
oh, they already had somebody in a wheelchair attack you, and it went to court and was proven they staged it. So, I mean, you guys are under major attack.
Exactly. And, so the cops were called. The cops came. They saw the big, the big bruise on my friend's, big cheek, and the cops actually arrested the executive producer of The Daily Show for punching my friend in the face.
All right, this is breaking news. When did this happen?
This happened last week.
So this hasn't hit the news, to my knowledge.
The video's coming out. It's going to come out next week. There's a lot of
and that'll be at wearechange.org. But Luke, there's a certain satisfaction that we have the truth, and we're blasting lightning bolts out of our fingers at the enemy. I want to play a clip of the type of satisfaction we have once we defeat the New World Order. Here is a quick clip. Here's a quick clip of what's going on right now. Here's Luke after he defeated Jon Stewart, and it was really hard for him, but he was very satisfied at the end of it. Here's Luke Rudkowski last week.
What clip was that?
It's one of our favorites around the office. It's the Emperor.
I'm just getting to watch it now because there's a delay. That's pretty funny. It looks like Senior Brzezinski.
Exactly. No, I'm just joking around. I'm sorry, Luke. I'm out of control tonight.
No, man, you got to laugh. You got to live. Life is short, man. Don't take anything too serious, and, always keep it up, man.
It's just the way that Ian McDermott, that award-winning actor, after he does it, he goes, ah. All right, just having some fun there. That's actually David Rockefeller there blasting down the towers. In fact, let's cue that back up. Let's show David Rockefeller attacking the World Trade Centers with space beams fired from his fingertips. I shouldn't joke about this, but we're just out of control tonight. Luke Rudkowski, We Are Change, joining us during the 24-plus hour transmission. I'm actually crying. That was so hilarious. Let's go ahead and play that clip one more time. Again, ladies and gentlemen, here is Barack Obama. I don't know why that's so funny. It's so ridiculous. All right, Luke, enough screwing around. I've already sung country music, Merle Haggard, and Johnny Cash songs here tonight. Get into some of the other amazing confrontations you guys are involved in, all the new chapters you're getting, just the history of how you exemplify resistance and not confronting the puppets, but confronting the actual power structure.
Yeah, I mean, we came from nothing. We came from losing a lot of important things in our life, and we just, We Are Change, a bunch of just kids who started meeting together. We just made a stand saying, it's not important what other people do, it's important what we do. And we just took that ideology, we took that belief, and we put it into practice, and that's why we went out there and we confronted David Rockefeller, the Rothschilds, and all the people pretty much behind the scenes, and also the puppets. So we confronted the puppet masters and the puppets, and it's just been gratifying being able to go up to somebody like Ted Turner, look them in the eyes and tell them that your life is just as equal as his life, and he's not important. And even though he may have people kissing his butt and, glamoring to him all the time, it doesn't matter, because at the end we're all equal, we're all human beings. And being able to send them a message that they can't rule our lives.
I never imaged David Rockefeller's butt. That's a horrible image.
It pretty much would be. It would look like that man's face.
It looked like the Emperor's face. I'm sorry.
And and we just took a basic principle: life is short. We have to do something to live for. And a lot of people, their lives are just empty. And we want to make life for something livable, something worthwhile, and creating a better life, fighting for freedom is something that is essential, something that we all need to realize before it's taken away in front of us like it is every single day. And that's why we go out there and we ask the hard questions, you know, and Condoleezza Rice is a perfect example. Jon Stewart had her on the show yesterday, and he was pretty much licking her boots on air, didn't ask a single hard question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can see the control left and right all working together with covering up the staged terror events.
And what's really interesting, the same questions Jon Stewart asked. You know, we confronted Condoleezza Rice at a Barnes & Noble. She was doing a question-answer with, I forgot her name, Jane Pauley. And Jane Pauley was asking the same questions as Jon Stewart was a couple days ago, the same exact questions. And, you know, we went in there, and, again, Matt LePage did an incredible job just taking it over. And I came in there as a press member, and they told me I couldn't take any video. They made me, you know, they were like, take off the portable mic, and I still played it off pretty cool. I acted like a photographer. I had the big Canon camera. I told Condoleezza Rice to give me a big smile, to look to the left, and to look at me. And then as soon as she looked at me, I asked her what she did at the Bilderberg Group, and her face just sunk back a little bit, and she was just stunned, and she was like, that has nothing to do with my book.
Yeah, they can't keep us on their phony agenda. The truth is they're a bunch of cowards and scum, and if we simply have the courage and honor to stand up against them, we will defeat them. And, Luke, I want to get the numbers straight. How many We Are Change chapters now globally?
223 chapters all over the world, everywhere, growing every single day. And it's not chapters who don't do anything. Chapters who don't do anything get taken off the list. My friend Dan does an excellent job trying to keep up with all the We Are Change chapters. You have to be doing something to be considered a chapter.
And let's be clear, We Are Change exposes globalism, the fake carbon tax, staged terror. It's not directed from some central group. It's an idea, and they've tried to COINTELPRO you. They've had their operatives, who it's now admitted national shows, RCI operatives, beat you up. Then you go tell the police. They cut out the clips and show you talking to cops and claim you're calling the police on people. It's all part of their selective camera angles. But they're not stopping you. You just ignore it. You move forward.
No, you can't let it stop you. You know, we've had many victories. I mean, look what happened in Gary Talas. He was attacked. He faced pretty much 3 months, or 3 years.
They had a Bush operative with the dad with the wheelchair girl ram into your people, and you took it to trial, didn't plead bargain, and it turned out it was all staged.
Exactly, and the Secret Service went on testimony and said, no, the police lied. This kid didn't attack anybody. The New York Post had to post a retraction in their newspaper, and the same thing happened with me with Mayor Bloomberg. Those charges when I was arrested for questioning Mayor Bloomberg of criminal trespassing were dropped. I'm countersuing the city right now to show them I'm no one to mess around with. You know, it's kind of sad. We have to go through these things, but we have victories. We have great people in our corner. We have great lawyers like my lawyer Mustafa, who helps me out so much, and I just want to, you know, I want to thank you and everybody and your listeners and everybody who has been there for us, because really the things you do, the things we do, it can't be possible without the people listening right now, the people supporting you right now. Nothing is possible without everyone listening, paying attention, getting involved, and doing it themselves. So I commend you. I can't thank you guys enough for everything. And we're never going to give up. We're not going to stop. This fight is not going to stop until we get proper justice, until we get freedom, until we live in a free country, not under a one-world government dictatorship.
Well, beautifully said. Luke Rudkowski, Lou Dobbs, George Norrie, Alan Watt, David Icke, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Jeffrey M. Smith, Webster Tarpley, and we've got coming up Gerald Celente for 2 hours, Max Keiser, live interview with Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. It's all coming up. Luke, God bless you, and I look forward to seeing all these videos at wearechange.org. Keep it up, because just as I was an example to you, you are now an example to millions, and people are duplicating and imitating, and that's the most sincere form of flattery, confronting the actual controllers and their minions. Keep it up, Luke Rudkowski. God bless you.
Keep it up, too, brother. God bless you, and good luck staying up all night. I'll be with you online. I'll be with you in spirit, brother.
Thank you. You know, it's a piece of cake to stay up. I'm worried about 3 o'clock when I leave here tomorrow. I'm going to be feeling like, I know how it is when I stay up over 24 hours. I won't be able to go to sleep tomorrow. And then I'll feel like I was run over by a truck on Saturday. But we're going to be here right through the show tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, everybody. InfoWarsMoneybomb.com or 888-253-3139. Question, the the situation you're in. Question whether you want to be involved in the fight to the next level. Ask yourself if you want to think back many years from now and wish that you had gotten involved now. Who can you say is more at the tip of the spear than this operation because of our listeners, our guests, everything? We've raised $303,000. We need to raise another $197,000 to reach our goal. If Michelle Bachmann can raise $5.4 million, I mean, give me a break. We need to finish this studio. We need to continue to the next level. It's because we've taken almost every dime that comes into here and put it right back into the operation. We've had this much success. We're going to continue it. For the next 25 minutes, G. Edward Griffin, one of the icons of the Patriot movement, best-selling author of The Creature from Jekyll Island, the new movie coming out in just about, 7 days, shipping from Infowars.com. What in the world are they spraying? A gentleman who has just produced countless films, one of the icons in building the framework and the platform to defeat the globalist, G. Edward Griffin. G. Edward, I've got you on. I didn't talk to you before you came on. We thought to have you on tonight. Just called you a few hours ago. We appreciate you on in short notice. But what is your view of alternative media and the Infowars.com platform, and do you think it's worthy of people financially supporting it?
Oh, Alex, that's such an easy question to answer. It's the only way that we have any hope of doing an end run around this information block, this barrier. You know, everyone knows this, but I think it's good once in a while to remind ourselves that people are like computers. The brains that we have are, completely blank when we're born. We've got certain connections and we're capable of thought, but we don't really start to think until we have words put in there, and then we have patterns of words and experiences and so forth. And gradually we become programmed. Our brains become programmed with human experiences and information and education. And, the old saying is garbage in, garbage out is so true with the human brain. I don't care how smart you are or how well wired up you are, what your IQ is. If you don't have access to accurate information, it is impossible for you to come up with correct conclusions or solutions to problems. So when we've got an information barrier, as I think everybody listening to this show certainly knows, I don't care how smart you are, it's impossible to really know what's going on in the world. So we've always had this problem. How do we get around, do an end run around this mass media block of information? Well, so what you're doing in the alternative media is the solution. It's why these guys at the top are scared to death that somehow they won't be able to control us. And I think they stay up. They're probably listening tonight figuring out, how can we stop this? How can we stop this? We must stop this soon. Because they know that their lies, their disinformation, their half-truths are being exposed. So to answer your question in a short form, it's the only way we ever hope to unite our people based on solid information and positive goals. So God bless you for that.
Well, God bless you, G. Edward Griffin. I mean, if we look at this, for decades they said no world government existed. I mean, Limbaugh 15 years ago said the CFR didn't even exist. There's no carbon tax. Just 2 years ago, they used the fake right wing to suppress people, and the left out promoting their communism, collectivism as the other side of the equation and their controlled paradigm. Now it's all out in the open. We've been vindicated, verified. We didn't care if we got made fun of. You didn't care 45 years ago. I didn't care 15 years ago. And now we've got incredible credibility, and we know these are just men we're fighting. They're not invincible. And the mortgages are being suspended. Everything we talked about with the devaluation of the dollar, the Federal Reserve announcing that they're going to hyperinflate. That is such an incredible announcement. I'm going to give you the floor. And the only way I can do this, being an obnoxious person, is I'm going to give you 10 minutes, G. Edward Griffin, right now. And I'm going to turn the mic off. I'm going to walk in the control room as a watcher, as a listener. And I'm going to listen to you talk about what's happening currently in the crossroads we're at and where you see this society going. Then I'm going to come back and talk about some other issues. But for the next 10 minutes, we only got 21 minutes left with you. G. Edward Griffin is our guest, live, uninterrupted, part of the Infowars Moneybomb.com transmission. G. Edward Griffin, talk about, I mean, it's one thing for you and I to intellectually know this and know their plans and read the documents, but what is it like for you every day to wake up and see it all unfolding? We're now at that point, and they're not having the victories that they said they would have. They're seeing opposition mount, and at least in my view, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I certainly am not going to try to correct you because I think you're right. But by the way,